Hey everyone, Charles here. And first of all, thank you for stopping by my podcast. If this show inspires you, makes you think, or gives you that courage to jump into action, please help by donating to this show. Click the link in the description and donate. Your donation helps us with production and finding great guests moving forward. Thank you and enjoy.
You know you should be doing something different, right? Hey, I'm talking to you. Do you believe that you have the gift for greatness or have a special talent, but don't have the courage to take that next step? Always wondering how others made it look so easy? Well, welcome to Jump, the show that will bring you special guests just like you and me. How did they get the courage to jump into greatness? Doing what they love and living the good life. So, get ready to jump with your host, Charles Matthews Jr.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? And welcome to Jump Podcast. If this is your first time here, I want you to jump. And I'm not talking about jumping up and down. I'm talking about jumping into greatness and jumping into your future. What I do is I bring interesting guests just like you and me onto the show and just talk about what they've gone through, how they get through it, and how did they jump. So please welcome to my special guest, my special show, as everybody likes to know. And you can follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're all over. Please welcome to the show. Hey, how you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining. Give us a little background. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling from California, in Bay Area, California.
Right now, I just saw the sun. I saw some palm trees. I had to put on a jacket today, a toque. I'm
from California. See, I'm still wearing a sweater.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. So please introduce yourself.
My name is Coca Germa McDonald. I am a pediatric occupational therapist and a mother and an author.
Okay, so let's backtrack.
Okay.
Born and raised, where are you from?
I was born and raised in Ethiopia. Finished high school there, and I moved several places. I was in Cyprus for a little bit for college, and I was in Indianapolis for transferred to a pediatric. Actually, no, I was starting to study pre-med before I found out about occupational therapy. I met friends that inspired me and transferred to their occupational therapy program. Then my sisters live in California, so they convinced me to move to California. So I transferred to California to finish my OT degree.
All right.
So I've been here for a while.
Okay, but I heard you say sisters. How many siblings do you have?
I have two. I have two older sisters. I'm the youngest one. Youngest of three.
Yes. Okay, so you're the baby.
Yes, I'm always going to be the baby.
So tell me how that was growing up, like being the baby of the group. What were your dreams? What did you want to become, and how was it with two older sisters?
Well, they moved for school to the States when I was really young, so I kind of felt like I grew up as an only child, right? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting you asked me that question, because I think when I was 10 or 11 is when I decided I wanted to study pre-med. I wanted a career that I just sat down one day. I just looked up, okay, what is the career that can help a lot of people? And doctor was the only one that came to mind. And when I started studying pre-med, and I realized the demand when I moved here, and I start researching on it, and the time they don't get a lot of one-on-one, right. That's why I switched to occupational therapy, because you get to keep your clients for a long period of time and you see them progress, and you're in their life, instead of like you have a lot of cases and you don't even know. Like, I don't know my doctor. You know what I mean? I see a lot of, you don't have that relationship because they have a lot of demand, right? But as a kid, that's the one thing I thought. So that was my dream. That was my dream, and to have my own apartment and a dog. That's pretty much what I thought.
Where did the dog come from?
I don't know. I just thought I would go, for a run, and then I just wanted a dog with me. That's all.
All right. So what's the dog's name? We got to find out what the dog's name is.
I did not have a dog's name. That's the thing. And I'm scared of dogs too. That's this unique thing. I just have my own dog that I'm not scared of.
Yeah.
That who can like keep with me, and that was the only thing I envisioned. And then but the change, I became an OT, moved and learned a lot of things. So ended up getting married, have kids now. No dog.
No dog. Okay, we gotta get you a dog. If anybody's listening out there, we gotta get her a dog. All right.
That's the thing. Yeah. Not with the little kids. One day. Don't tell them that I always wanted a dog, but I can't handle with dog getting 2 kids.
So then how did you get? I hear that your friends, kind of curved you into this field, and then you found out and you wanted the one-on-one. What have you learned so far about being in this field?
Occupational therapy is a great field for anybody who really like working with people, because it's a very broad program. Like I can work in any disability or any setting. So in school, you actually learn the whole broad part of occupational therapy. I can work with adults, kids. I can work in the psych unit, rehab, you name it. So we at schools, and in the school we learned just how to help a person from really like be functional and be independent. So that's our goal of occupational therapy. So you see an occupational therapist working with your grandparents. If they're like in the nursing unit, you see them working with kids. So our focus is, can this client function? And it depends on what that client's occupation is, right? So whatever is your occupation is, can we help you be more independent and capable? So that can be by giving rehab, an accommodation, or sometimes even assistive technology. There's so many things that goes with it. The idea is like you be independent and functional.
And have your own will of doing things on your own and feeling comfortable around people. So then how does this job change your life?
Wow. It's an amazing journey for me, because I always wanted to work with pediatrics, right? So pediatric, and I've done since I became an OT, got my license 2003 or 2004. And I got to work with a lot of families, a lot of kids. I don't know, maybe hundreds by now, right? So it gives you like an additional purpose in changing people's life. I think that's what I like about occupational therapy and working with kids, is you can also, I like the idea of looking at a case or a client and thinking outside the box and making something possible. So especially for parents, you are sometimes the first person they're going to interact when they find out their child has something. So you will give them hope, vision. And sometimes when you don't have answer, it's up to you to go research it and come up with answers, and or connections. So I think personally, I love that part of the job, working with kids and connecting, and being outside the box and creating for them. And but I think personally, my career, started to change because I got really into treatments, and without taking care of my own body, got so into taking care of my clients, and I aggravated my back and my neck, and it's a hard work sometimes, when you do, and became went on disability that affected me. Then I had to stop working. That was really hard because I cannot think of anything else to do, because I spent like thousands of dollars getting all other trainings, and I could not see myself doing anything else. And so that I stopped working for a while and started like, okay, let me start my own practice. My husband is like, just start your own, and I think that kind of started to snowball, right? So, but the hardest thing was to learn to pivot, and even for me to think outside the box. For me, I was like, okay, I cannot provide services in the traditional way of OTs doing, like, on the floor playing with them, which I wanted to do, but I cannot do that. So in what other ways can I service?
Right.
That was
you had your dream, you love what you're doing.
Yeah.
How can you keep the dream going and be still doing all the stuff you want to do? But hubby goes, just start your own. Just go ahead and do it. And your first thoughts was what?
I think first I was like, yeah, I always said I wanted to do it, I should do it, but of course there's like the imposter syndrome. It's like, wait, can I do it? Do I know what I'm doing? Am I the expert? So there's that the imposter syndrome part of it. And about 2018 is when even after I started my own practice and I was consulting and working with kids, it just became really apparent, like I cannot take on more physically anymore and be present at home. So I think his idea was like his next level is like, why don't you just start, blogging and do your website, just do what you love, do the part of it that you like the most, And of course, my first reaction is like, oh no, I don't like writing. And it's like, oh, do YouTube. I don't want to be on video. I don't want my face there. I want to be, so everything, like just writing was not my thing. And, but I was like, okay, I'm going to trust. I'm just going to go outside the box and see how it goes. And, and just change the way I think about even writing. I realized, okay, I love creating. I always create something for my clients. So I'm like, I'm going to take these books as another tool instead of thinking I'm writing a book. Like I had to change the way I think about it, and got a coach, and that teaches me how to write these books and learn how to do it. I realized if I'm going to do it, I found this group that they were teaching. They call Self-Publishing School. And then I signed up with them. They walked me through it. And it was easier. So I have someone else who's helping me, who knows what to do. And they helped me actually believe in me. They just broke it down. So, and I start writing and I start actually loving it, and I start connecting. So my idea was, okay, what are the things I really want as a mom of 2 kids who need these treatments, and as a therapist starting out, what did I need to make it easier for me? Like at first, I used to see like about 7 schools, close to 40 clients, driving all over. So you have that many cases and you have 30-minute or 45-minute a session.
How can you gather it all up into one easy step?
Yes, that I was more like, okay, it's everything I know is great, but I need a practical that, like in my cases, in my sessions, I want to be able to do something that I know I'm measuring, like why am I picking this exercise? So I always was always online searching for books like the one I wrote. And I was waiting for somebody else to create it. But then I was like, okay, now I have the time. Maybe I should do it because I'm not seeing clients. And then I asked a group of OTs in some kind of Facebook group that I was in. It's like, anybody interested to be my beta readers? And then I think that convinced me, like hundreds of people came. I was like, okay, this is a need. I'm not the only one, right?
So let me ask you this. Were you scared? Because,
yes.
All my viewers, this is why you're on the show. It's called Jump. You got to take that chance. Tell us about how you were scared. What were you scared about?
So the work I was writing about is called reflex integration work. It's a very, in a way, complicated way that we are taught, and for some reason too, we have not covered it at school. So we have to take a lot of CU units and education to understand it. And I think my idea was to make it so simple that just anybody, a parent, a tired parent, a mom, can pick up the book and be able to understand it. So as a therapist, and as there's this, maybe it's an internal fear, but there's this fear of feeling like, what do other therapists would think about this? What if it's not accepted, right? So, and when I start focusing more, instead of that parent that I wanted to help, that therapist I wanted to help, when I start focusing more on what do people think of me, what other therapists think of me, that kind of was paralyzing. So that's the one I had to stop, and even in the coaching, work on the imposter syndrome. Like, am I the right one? Should I wait another 5 years? Should I take more, should I take more courses?
More time, more courses, more of this, but the more you wait,
you
keep pushing yourself back.
Yeah. So I realized, no, I have, since I've been trained with this treatment, I have used this treatment and given me results. I'm going to service these 1% of people. If I can service them, I'm servicing them. And then, what really helped me is to understand that at first I want to help everybody. That is crippling. You will never help everybody.
You can't. No.
Yeah. So, but I was like, I'm going to help those people I can help. And I'm okay not helping the other ones because they don't have to get the help from me. And if you don't like it, that's fine too,
You're right.
So I just giving myself an out and them an out. I'm like, you don't have to like it, there's so many tools that are out there. Just pick one,
But you like, and if I'm the one that you like, then that's great. If you find something else, you find something else.
Yeah. And then and then it's amazing though, the feedback I was getting and the therapist. And I really put myself, as I was writing it, I was making it practical, right? So, and uncomplicating it. And sometimes it's hard in our field to go like that, because some people want, like, it has to be this kind of clinical based. Did you do this research? I'm like, there are times I don't have time in my session to, like, I have 30 minutes. What can I do?
You can't make everybody happy. That's the main thing. You can't make everybody happy. And if you try to make everybody happy, it's going to be a tough thing to do. So you got to do it for you. You got to make sure that you do it. And at the end of the day, are you happy? Are you happy with the product you put out?
Yeah, definitely. And then I used my own kits. So I have 2 kids, and had C-section with both of them. And I knew that they were going to have some reflex retention, and crawling was harder for my oldest one. And I needed to do these trainings, this reflex integration work that I've been trained in the past takes like an hour to do. And getting him to do it was a fight. And then I realized, okay, I'm expert, I'm trained, I have like all this, but I can't get him to do it. So it became real to me. I was like, parents need a 5 to 10 minute activity that they feel like, they can do. And we do a lot of things with our kids, and we just don't know it's therapeutic as well. And it's comforting to know a trained therapist to say, you know what, when you take him to the playground, you already are helping your child, but just do these things, right? All you need is just a little tweak, right? So focus on this thing. When you're doing handwriting, you have 5 minutes, you already do these things, right? Like, just work on these things. Let me help you, guide you. So I started creating, and even my illustrator, I was giving him a hard time. Like, he will design me, like all my books, if you see, there's a lot of illustration in them. And I want my kids to look at the picture and understand what the exercise was. So I feel like if my 4-year-old says they can name it, that's good. So because our clients are, what I want to target is, yes, the therapist, but also their clients. Right. So if their clients like it, and I'll take it to my sessions, and I'll give my book to my clients, the little ones, like 2 years old, second grade, third grade, and I'll have them like, okay, pick which one do you want to do. So it was easy to engage with them. So they became my testers as well.
So you use them to find out is this real? Can I use it? Is it something that everybody's going to engage
Mhm.
with? So,
Yeah.
and you're taking steps. You're not doing it all at once. I like what you did. You did a little tester here. You found little this things here. You found little things here. And if things came up, you tweaked them.
Yeah.
And that's what the main thing is. It's like you're going to find mistakes in anything you do. And that's why you have people around you to tweak it, but you didn't stop.
No. Yeah. And then I also got therapists who can read it and give me feedback too. So they will, I will say like the first one took me a while to take it out because the first book was harder because it's the first one. But I will ask them, these are the topics that I'm going to write. What do you want in it? These are the pictures. What do you think of this picture? Like kind of give, they were in this Facebook group, so they will kind of give me feedback. So that was helpful. This is what I'm thinking or having. I know as a therapist, for me, if somebody had created that for me, I'll be like, yes, give it to me. But I wanted to have that as well.
But the difference is you're willing to take criticism.
Yeah.
You're willing to go to your other people and say, hey, what do you think? And they say, well, you should change this, you should change that. At the end of the day, it's up to you.
Yeah.
But if you say, okay, I might do a little change here and here, you got to be open to it and move on from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So here, let's have some fun.
Okay.
We're going to do a quick thing. Now that we get to know a little bit about you and a little bit about what you're doing, it's time for rapid fire. I need you to pick a letter A, B, C, or D, and then you just have like a quick boom to give me the answer. You have like 30 seconds to explain your answer. It might be one of these crazy answers, but you just got to keep going. All right. So let's go with rapid fire. A, B, C, or D. Pick a letter.
C.
C. Here we go. You ready?
Not really.
Here we go. What is success for you?
Success for me is reaching as many people as possible with the work that I'm doing. That'll be success. Like that's how I'm kind of measuring it, is like having these books out in the world and knowing that some family, somewhere, somebody is benefiting from it.
Okay. That's sunshine or sunset?
Sunset.
All right. What is your favorite color?
That's hard. I have multiple colors that I like. I like orange and light green.
There you go. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Favorite food?
I do like Ethiopian food.
Okay. Favorite dessert?
Tiramisu.
What's the first thing you notice about someone when you first meet them?
The facial expression.
Okay.
Like smile or like, welcoming.
If they're looking at you weird, like, who's this person? All right. Or give you that warm smile. All right. Here we go. Fashion advice you've gotten. What's the best fashion advice you've ever gotten?
Don't wear more than 3 colors because I'm not good for matching. My husband corrects me. I ask him like, what do you think?
All right, now we see why you love so many colors. All right.
Yes.
That makes sense. It makes sense now. All right. What's the best compliment you ever gotten?
Oh, wow. I think best compliment I've ever gotten. It has to be with my work or with my kids.
There you go.
Yeah.
And your favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Merlin.
There, see? There you go. You made it through rapid fire. Congratulations. There you go. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to be right back. Don't go nowhere, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks, Charles. I'm Carolyn Dickinson, and I'm here to tell you that the Life Success Board systems are live. These success boards have massive impact. The system will allow you to be able to envision that anything is possible for every area of your life. It'll give you direction, it'll give you focus, and it'll keep you moving forward. There are 8 success board systems available to you, plus bonuses. So for more information on this amazing system, click the link below. You don't want to miss it. Back to you, Charles.
Hey, it's okay if you're driving or too busy to take notes. Charles has your parachute packed with all the info you need to jump into success. Check out the links section for all the tools you need to land safe. Now, let's keep falling with Charles and his special guest.
Yes, we are back live. And like you said, all of discounts, special offers, books like yours will be in this link description. You go to charlesmatthews.com and you can, get the link to get all the great books, what we're talking about, information, discounts. It's all there. charlesmatthewsjr.com. All right. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about the books. How many books is there? Let's dive into it.
Right now I have 3 books in the series. I'm still writing the rest. I write specifically on reflex integration and activities that you can do in a play base. So reflex integration through play. And so the idea is working on these specific reflexes in a playful way, and activities that you can get your child to work or your client to work with you in that way, so that one, you can continue to screen them and work on skill, because OTs, we look at function, skill, and we're always observing. And how can we do it in a way that is playful, and recommendations for parents and teachers and service providers and therapists as well. So that's what.
So what is the first book called?
The first one, and I have it here, they all go under the same main titles: integrating primitive reflexes through play and exercise. This one is on the Moro reflex specifically, and the Moro reflex, and the ATNR reflex. It kind of tells you like what reflex that we are covering in each of them. And just to give you a background, what I'm talking about when I say reflexes, as these primitive reflexes are almost like our internal code, movement code, that are created in us, right? So when we were born, we have it in them, and they're triggered by sensory stimuli and head movement. It can be like a stroking of the face, like for the rooting reflex, or hand, the baby will grasp. These are the reflexes we want to see when babies are born, and they should be there. They should be present. But mostly with our kids, what we see is they don't become dormant, but it'll continue to affect their development. And then that's when we see all kind of like developmental delays, motor development issues, and behavior, and all this kind of thing. So this one is kind of, each book will focus on one of the reflexes and all the activity you can do.
I think when I was doing some research about you, I went on your Facebook page, and it was a newborn baby that just came out, and they grabbed the mask of the doctor. I think that was the doctor. Was it the doctor? And the grip on that little, like the newborn, and it pulled the mask right off. Took a picture. He's smiling, but she's got the baby's grabbed the mask and is just grabbing it. I'm like, okay, the power, the strength that they had to pull the mask right off as soon as they came out was amazing. So these are the little things that you look for and you talk about, that it's possible. Yeah.
So the Moro reflex, for instance, is the reflex that helps the baby take the first breath. So it's important, right, for survival. So they're there for this natural process, and they're there for infant survival for the first year or so. And afterwards, they become dormant, and more intentional movement and responses to the world come.
So let me ask you this: what is the best feedback you've gotten so far from the time, the effort, and the skill you put into these books?
I think that the feedback that I've gotten from a lot of therapists is like how easy it is for them to incorporate it in their treatment tools as part of their sessions. I think that is for them. Some of them are saying like, "Oh, I always use it. This is part of my treatment plan now." So it's they can easily incorporate it. For most of it, you don't even need equipment to do, and you can see it right away. And just walking them through most of the things they probably know as well. I'm just guiding them to see in a different lens, right? So sometimes that's why you need. It's like, okay, I'm going to help you. You're doing this activity, but I'm going to show you how to look through it through the lenses of the reflex integration part. I think, and parents have seen, the ones that connected with me is like they've seen behavior changes, even speech progression, and less sensory issues that they were able to see. So that was something that was very exciting to me when a parent actually connects with me and say like, wow, finally I know why my kid is doing. I thought it was psychological or something, but to just be like, look, if it's a reflexes high, you can't smart the brain, be smarter than the brain, right? So you have to connect to the brain and make sure that these reflexes are dormant. Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere, right? So it gives us like foundational too, like for us to be like, I know exactly. At least that's the type of therapist I am. Like I go in a session, I want to know, what did I do? How do I track it? Is this worth?
And it's great feedback. All it is, it's great feedback.
Yeah, it's been a great feedback.
All right. So let's have some more fun. Here we go.
Now time for Pick
3. It's now time for Pick 3. I want you to give me 3 numbers between 1 and 10. And those are the last 3 questions I'm going to ask you before we end our broadcast today. So give me 3 numbers between 1 and 10.
1, 8, 6.
1, 8, and 6. What is the one thing you wish you would have known before you got into writing?
The one thing I wish I'd known before into writing is the importance of working on your mindset and working on yourself. Because most of the things when you create, when you come out, take on this leadership position, 80%, 90% of the battle is in my head with myself. So people are like, they're wanting the help from you, but I think the fight is in my head. So I wish I knew that's what I'm working on, instead of like tweaking this, tweaking that, always stopping and working on myself.
There you go. All right. What are some great resources you found that helped you?
Well, self-publishing for anybody who wants to write a book, self-publish yourself. The coaching program I went through is very helpful. It's called Self-Publishing School. They were a big resource. They're the ones who even put it in my head that I should do this. I wasn't planning on writing. I never liked writing. So from a person who doesn't not like writing to be writing all the, creating and coming out, like you need a team behind you. And I didn't do this by myself. If I didn't have that, I would not have done it.
Okay. And then lastly is, where can we find you? Where can we listen to you? Where can we get some more information about you?
We will have a lot of resources. You can use my website. We're updating it, PolarisTherapy.com. I am on Facebook. I have a free Facebook group for people who are reading my books. It's Primitive Reflex Integration Exercises. You can find me there. We also have a page on Facebook, and you can connect with us. I try to go live there and do some trainings and share ideas and answer people's questions in that group and do some kind of workshops. So that'll be a good place to find me. And you can also find the book on Amazon.
All right. And I've just added that into the chat. If you want to join the Facebook group, it's in the chat. Click on it and join her there and get some more information. All right. Now, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We've learned a lot. And the thing is, one thing that I did take away is you took the time. You took the time to figure out what you wanted to do. You took the time. You didn't let it hinder you. And you said, with every setback, you did something new, and you took a chance and you jumped. And that's the one thing we want everybody to understand is it's time to jump. It's time to get into the action and do what you need to do. And jumping is all into that action. So before we let you go, does anybody want to say hi to any shout outs out there?
Oh, for me?
Yes.
Oh, shout out for my husband. He's taking care of the kids now. He took the kids out because they're loud and sick. So say thank you.
There you go. See, and shout out to him too, because it was giving you that idea to move forward. Yeah. So I'm gonna give him a shout out myself. There you go.
Yes.
All right, everybody, listen, take the chance. Do what you got to do. You never know what you can achieve. Yes, there's going to be bumps in the road, but that's what they're there for. They're there for you to uplift yourself. So, as I always say, you didn't have to listen, you didn't have to watch, but I'm glad you did. Say hi to somebody. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Has come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to obtain professional
Hey, hope you had a great time listening to the show. If you think I did a great job, please buy me a coffee. I still got a lot of work to do. We would love to hear from you, your feedback, so please click the link and leave us a review. You can help us grow by following us on all social media platforms and sharing this link. Once again, it's time for you to jump. Success is waiting.